As I was trying to say, see where this says copyrighted material? This little white area here above the arrow there would have been the car shop. It was 318 feet long, probably about 20 feet tall, had 4 bays, and that was closed in about 1903. And they furloughed a number of the workers. I do not know when it was torn down, probably sometime in the 30s. This area here, I'd love to take you back and show you. Get this thing to focus. I'd love to take it back there and show you, but it's CSX property and they're very sticky about trespassing. Although you can see on the aerial maps, this is a 1950 view. And over in this area is where the coal tower would have been. And I'll show you what some of the buildings look like when I get back to my car and get my reference material. But we also had a passenger depot. Back here, this all would have been shops, different offices and things. They would have had a scale for weighing the locomotives. The carpentry mill would have been, as I said, by that pile of dirt. It was a rather complicated looking building. And then he had various different things and tracks going back there. I'll show you in a bit. This is from the 50s. This was well after the peak of the railroad in Garrett. I mean, you know, the 1950s and the 40s, knowing that the Garrett to Chicago division would be the last to be dieselized, they invested after World War II to make a bigger cinder pit and put up a 75-foot coal tower. That's how tall it was, I was told. Had 500-ton coal capacity, and they tore that down in about 1962. These are the last vestiges, actually, of the old B&O. And if I can get permission from these two officers, I will show you where the remnants of the roundhouse were. But I don't know. I may have to come back another time and do it. But you can kind of see where the shops were. That's where the foundation would have been. It would have been 18 feet up. And then they would have built 2 new ones over here, as you can see on the map. That was a brick probably from the roundhouse. Get this darn thing to focus. It was built in 1875. No, sometime around the 1880s. And you can kind of tell where it would have been. Back behind that shed is one of the stalls to the roundhouse. It would have been probably about 12 feet down, depending where the pits would have been. But this whole area, 265 feet of it, would have been roundhouse, and it would have been the primary structure. That was leveled in 1968, unfortunately. They did try to save it, but there just wasn't money in the city budget back then to do so. And then, of course, back over, whoops, back in that area over there, you would have had the, I hope this is turning out. I don't know if this wind is blowing me out, but I will try to do my best. Where Yoder Ford sits over there used to be where the museum sits, that building where I first showed you that map. Let's try and refocus this. I'll see if I can get this to focus